In 7 years, over 100 housemates have opened up their lives to the Big Brother cameras. So whatever happened to the first housemate to make headline news?
People believe what they see on television.
Who's made a fortune?
I'm massively successful.
Which housemate is about to change his life forever?
Kind of like a chick with a dick.
It's time to find out. It's been 7 years since the first Big Brother. 10 strangers living together in a house with 27 cameras recording 24 hours a day.
We were 10 innocent fools going into this dilapidated prefab building for 9 weeks. We hadn't a clue.
We thought this will be a late night show. You know, there aren't many viewers that late, and who's going to be interested? Who will find 10 people in a house in Bow interesting?
The weirdest holiday we've ever had.
The first 4 or 5 weeks, people sat around like a tea party. It was like some self-help workshop, and everyone patting themselves on the back and going, brilliant, isn't it great? What would you like some tea? You can get on the washing up. Ooh, sorry. And it just became cretinous.
I'm feeling like I want to go home. And I hate being on TV.
Got your dick stuck right up your anus.
Are you afraid of that?
Afraid of you?
Right.
A discussion. You need to learn how to hold one.
But when Nick Bateman was caught cheating, Big Brother changed forever.
Seems like Nick is kind of going round to individuals and kind of getting information.
The rules were you can't discuss nominations, so I wrote them down. It's not breaking the rules, it's kind of bending them, but I think the impact was more outside.
Nick was such a big deal because he broke the rules. And everybody likes to abide by the rules, and us in the house, we survived by you know, living by the rules.
Suddenly thought, my God, he's written notes down. My God, how did he get a pencil? That's interesting. And then I think they felt betrayed.
Nick became front page news.
You've dug your own grave. You really have dug your own grave.
I can accept that.
He was a creep anyway. Nick was a funny guy. He was just weird. And outside they saw this person cheating.
We've decided that we're going to ask you to leave the house.
No inkling to making front page news, and there it was. Nasty Nick gets kicked out of the house. Being a villain, you know, everyone hisses and boos at you, which is fine, but, you know, you want to be known for something greater than that.
But Nick used the media storm to his advantage.
I've written a book. I've been in pantomime. Well, it was all very tragic, really. On one hand, it opens doors. People know who you are. On the other hand, it closed them as well. And so you get very sore knuckles sometimes from banging on the wrong doors. But it's you know, it's the nature of the beast. Once people meet you, they actually go, "You're not nasty at all. You're totally different." But I think it's the perception that you must be very nasty, and because people believe what they see on television. Reality TV people are totally useless, and I think 98% perhaps are. But I think you do get tarred with the same brush. And you have to accept it. There's no point in fighting it. You have to try and prove that you're not just a reality star, that you do have something else to offer.
The relationship between food and stress, and that's at 3:30.
Former nun Anna Nolan launched her own media career.
I know. Since Big Brother, I have had 2 episodes of a series called Anna in Wonderland. Worked with Davina on 2 series called Closure, a program called Ask Anna, a documentary series called Would You Believe, a live daytime show for 2 years called The Afternoon Show, documentary series called Flesh and Blood, several other documentaries, and now I'm going to do a program about sex on the internet.
Winner Craig Phillips went on to star in numerous TV shows and now has a highly successful presenting career. But what happened to the rest? Nicola went from being an art teacher and now works in the adult film industry. Caroline tried unsuccessfully to launch a pop career. Andy moved to Australia but now lives in London working as a brand consultant. Mel works as a newspaper and magazine journalist in East London. Sada wrote a book called The Babe's Bible, trained as a yoga instructor and was last reported to have had twins in Argentina. Claire and Thomas had a son, but they're now separated, and Claire runs a property business in Spain. Darren worked as a TV presenter before briefly training to be a flight attendant. But this was just the beginning. The housemates of the future were about to get bigger, bolder, and more outrageous.
Yo, big brother.
The second series launched a year later, with 11 fresh faces ready to spend their summer in the Big Brother house. The house was bigger, and so were the characters, like Bubble.
My time in the Big Brother house was the most surreal experience of my life.
Narinder.
They keep getting my name wrong. Have they never met an Asian person before? Unashamedly, I am a wannabe. Was then, and still am.
And Helen.
Oh my God. Didn't really have any expectations, really. Actually, I didn't really think about it. I just sort of done it.
Now a household name, this was where we first met Irish-born ex-flight attendant Brian Dowling. But even Brian's jokes couldn't stop tempers fraying.
I'm sick of him! Leave! Let me know! He's a fucking shit!
My argument with Amber, oh God, I mean, it was about nothing.
Smug and dick, and leave this house because I fucking think you're smug and shit! I hate you!
I made her cry, I felt like a wanker for making a girl cry. You can argue with somebody in your confines of your own house, that's all right, but when you do it in front of 5 to 10 million people, it doesn't go down too well.
To go in Big Brother, you have to play a very dishonest game. You have to be very nice all the time. You have to bite your tongue all the time because you're stuck in this house for, what, 12 weeks with people that you wouldn't normally get on with. You know, be small.
Now living in Oxfordshire, Stuart works as a freelance communications consultant.
My life now has changed massively. I've had some huge highs and lows, and the low was probably getting divorced.
Stuart was the next to be voted out of the house.
Everyone said about this 15 minutes of fame, these are your 15 minutes. I've had this for 6 years now. You know, Big Brother had a massive impact on my life. I've got a great girlfriend who recognised me as a Big Brother. That's how I'm with her. Yeah, so I can thank Big Brother for that.
The relationship between car designer Paul and hairdresser Helen was another highlight of Big Brother 2.
It's just happened, isn't it?
Today, Helen's life has come full circle. Her relationship with Paul, who has gone back to his job in car design, finished back in 2003.
I didn't go in there thinking that I'd end up meeting someone at the time. It's just, you never know what's going to happen to you. We'll talk about Paul now, because we split up, but in the house we sort of like made a connection and we sort of like got on and everything, and now I still speak to him and we still get on. We'll probably get on better now as friends. My life now is like ordinary. I'm a partner in the salon and everything, and it's just all really nice. I work 6 days a week and it's just all really good. Yeah, I enjoy it.
The 11th person to go into the Big Brother house will be...
This year, Big Brother changed the rules by putting in an extra housemate.
Somebody here.
Enter Josh.
Hi, Josh.
That's what I say.
You could see the workings of the show then. You could really see that what they'd done, they'd brought someone in. He was in there for a reason. It was to do this, and it was to get this reaction, to get that reaction. And it worked.
How about his thing?
You don't.
Okay. Yeah.
He's not gay. You're not gay. I know you're not gay.
He's gay.
And this revelation didn't sit well for Brian.
I think Brian wanted to be the only gay in the village, but maybe I was threatening, maybe he was like, oh my God, is he cooler than me? Maybe people are going to like him more. I want to be the only gay. And that's what I think it was. The most popular person in the house, obviously everyone adored him. He just irritated me. Glasses, please, Brian.
Christian, Josh, there you go.
I think I took away a bit of his thunder. And so, you know, it was just one bitchy comment after another.
Who's the bitch in the kitchen? Oh, it's Josh.
Josh has since built up a real estate company in London.
After Big Brother, you know, we were given the option to expand. Incredibly, somehow, I am the sole owner of it all, and it's sometimes very daunting.
But we failed to break the world record. However, he has set a new UK record.
Ex-warehouse worker Bubble has also now found his calling.
When's your dealer dropping off that skunk weed?
Been acting, you know, for about 3 years now, and written 2 plays. Life's great. I feel very lucky to be an actor now, because 90% of people in this world go to work every day either to pay the bills or do, you know, they don't really do a job that they love. So I feel blessed that I get to do that.
My God!
Bubba! Are you all right?
If I hadn't have gone in the Big Brother house, I wouldn't be acting today. I wouldn't have met my wife Caroline, and I wouldn't be half as happy as I am.
The Big Brother experience continues out of the house, which is forever, really. You will always be, you know, I will always be Dean from Big Brother.
Yay! Dean is now the Sugar Lump King.
When I first came out, all I wanted was normality back, you know, sort of a normal life, and for it to be exactly how it was before I did it. I didn't cope with instant celebrity very well at all. I was contemplating moving to America just to get away from it, because I spent the first 3 days in a hotel in London with the curtains drawn, sort of going, what have I done? And it probably took, you know, the best part of 5 years to get back to that. And I'd say I am now back to more or less where I was before I went in. I'm an interior designer, been doing that for 3 years, and I'm massively successful at it.
Cashing in on her time in the house, Narinder has written a book.
If it wasn't for Big Brother, I wouldn't have wrote my book. It's contestants from every series, Big Brother 1 to Big Brother 7. It's diary format, why they did it, you know, what happened in the house, what happened after. So it's, you know, it's life after reality TV. What happens after the cameras are gone?
Of the others, Penny's teaching in Hastings. Elizabeth has gone back to her former job in web design. Amma unsuccessfully tried her hand at a music career and is still living in London.
Amma, pardon me.
Winner of Big Brother 2001 is Brian.
But it was Brian Dowling who went on to have the biggest success, becoming a household name and successful TV presenter. In Big Brother 3, we first met Jade, the 21-year-old dental assistant from Bermondsey.
The biggest thing that made Big Brother 3 so different to the first 2 Big Brothers is Jade Goody.
I am what I am. I am my own special creation.
Jade astounded the nation with her unique view of the world.
I knew Birmingham weren't in London. I thought Cambridge was in London.
The region is called East Anglia.
East Anglia? That's abroad. The Germans in England not get on there or something?
Jade Goody, bless her. She's got to be an airhead.
At heart, she was a really nice girl. Without her, it wouldn't have been half as good as it was to watch.
But Big Brother wasn't all about Jade. Oh! There was IT assistant Kate.
Everybody, just tell them I love them.
Male model Alex.
You want a dirty floor? They can have a dirty floor.
Law student PJ, who had a well-documented night of passion between the sheets with Jade.
Don't even fancy him.
Cinema usher Alison, who displayed some fine footwork. and some break dancing.
I think I've just broken the outside tape on it.
And public schoolboy Tim.
Yeah, the shaving of the chest still goes on, scarily enough, but I use clippers now, not wet shave. And that was probably my worst part in the house. I didn't mention that earlier. I've totally forgotten about it. You see how it all disappears.
What colour is your natural hair?
Would you dye your hair, Tim? No, I was never ginger, and never have been, and never will be, unfortunately. So, but yeah, I don't know where that's come about.
Do you want me to do it for you, Tim?
No, Jay.
This was the year of the rich and poor divide.
Kate, as you know, Big Brother confiscates anything which is passed across the divide.
That's a bit unfair that you've taken 6 cans of beer away.
I think that the divide was definitely the start of Big Brother, I suppose, the game player and affecting people in the house. Do you think they're going to take that down just because you all jump over there? No, well, you don't listen to other people, so why should I listen to you?
Jane, shut down, don't talk about it. Don't lie about me.
Do nothing for me, both of you.
I'm going to stop in Decker, seriously.
And the first ever housemate to go over the top, personal shopper Sandy. But amongst all this tension, true love blossomed between Lee and Sandy's replacement, Sophie.
If I was out on the night sound world, would I find you attractive and would I go out with you? The answer is yes.
Well, me and Sophie obviously got together. It wasn't that long afterwards I proposed to her.
And then the following August we got married, and then we had Max in, I can't remember now, in 2005. And then, unfortunately, we separated in February of 2006.
Sometimes things are not meant to be, but yeah, had good times together. I've got no regrets. I don't know about her.
After 4 years of a relationship, I just think it had run its course, and I think if we hadn't maybe been on Big Brother and was in the media eye, we mostly wouldn't have got married as quick as we did.
You know, if there's one good thing that come out of the show, it's my little boy. Simple as that.
Once he left, Lee had trouble finding work.
I'm sure I've been turned down for the fact that I have been on the show.
He's now gone back to his former job in Leicester.
I'm a group fitness instructor. I went back to what I'm good at, what I know I'm good at, and what I enjoy.
The winner is Kate!
Kate Lawler finally walked out winner with 58% of the vote, making this series the most watched Big Brother ever, and allowing some housemates to forge lucrative high-profile media careers. Kate Lawler went on to a career in TV presenting, glamour modelling, and now travels the world as a club DJ.
Oh my God, oh my God.
But it was 4th place Jade, who went on to become the most famous ex-housemate of them all. But what happened to the rest? Alison now presents for daytime TV. Spencer lives in Scotland working as a fashion model. But as in previous series, being on Big Brother doesn't guarantee fame.
After being in Big Brother, it is not impossible to go back to normal life, because I've done it. It's whether you want to or not.
Sophie studies part-time and looks after her son. Former fireman Johnny Reagan recently toured in musical Boogie Nights. Following the media attention, Tim left the country to work in South Africa.
I don't think Big Brother drove me to South Africa, but I think it did speed it up. I literally sold up and just shipped on out. The standard of living over there is absolutely brilliant. I've got a beautiful house, I've renovated top to bottom, I've got a swimming pool and, you know, 3 bedrooms, and I'm a mile from the beach and the Table Mountain, and life is fantastic.
SKP Sandy is back working as a personal shopper in a London department store. Law student PJ has graduated to become a criminal defence lawyer. Sunita Sharma was also studying law and is now believed to have qualified. Alex now works in London as a housing officer for a charity. Scottish Lynn went back to her art studies in Dundee.
You do know I'm a virgin, don't you?
Adele now works as a rock DJ in Preston.
I'm a radio DJ, which is an absolute dream. I never dreamed that I'd be able to do something like that.
Big Brother 4 is often considered the quietest of all Big Brothers.
Hello, Big Brother. I think we described ourselves as pretty normal folks.
We were really normal compared to the people that have been on it previously and the ones who've been on after us.
Well, when I did Big Brother 4, I had no way of knowing what people were saying about the series on the outside. Nobody wants to be classed as being as part of the most boring series.
You got like characters on the shows now, don't you?
Everyone's really nice.
It made BB4 quite pleasant, didn't it? Was that we all got on.
I'm not boring.
That is until Big Brother sent in Lisa Jens, once voted 43rd sexiest woman in Wales.
I may look like some kind of upper-class bird, but believe you me when I say I can look after myself. I did self-defense. I could kill somebody with those 2 fingers.
When Lisa came into the house, you know, Mad Lisa, 2 fingers and all that, just unbalanced the house. And all of a sudden this Welsh woman's come in who's nuts, really.
Here's to all that wishes well, all the rest can go to hell.
The eventual winner of Big Brother 4 was Orkney businessman Cameron Stout. He's gone on to several TV presenting jobs, as well as writing for Scottish newspaper The Sunday Post. Lisa is currently unemployed and living in Wales. She recently lost a high-profile libel case with a Sunday newspaper. John has turned his love of science into a TV career.
I suppose everybody always asks about your media career after you've been a Big Brother housemate. I've got the gig co-presenting Brainiac on Sky 1, which is now into its 5th series and doing exceedingly well.
Goss went back to the kitchen.
Life for me, yeah, just back to normal, you know. And like I said, still chefing and, you know, you've got to earn a crust.
Scott now works at the Liverpool Playhouse Theatre. Steph is now a welfare officer for disadvantaged teenagers. Nush has gone behind the camera and works as a television researcher. Tanya moved to Germany and married a football star. Sissy set up a fashion workshop for schools. Justine returned to Leeds, where she had a brief television career. Federico currently manages bands in his native Glasgow, but it was second place Ray who really used his time after Big Brother to fulfill his dreams.
Big Brother, the reason why I wanted to do with it was mainly about the experience. I was a big fan of the show, and what has kind of happened after, it's been actually beyond my wildest dreams. Yes, good morning. It's the big Saturday show with Ray, Lisa. You know, I got to work in an industry which I always wanted to get into. And again, it's just the whole experience in itself has just been amazing.
Up until now, the housemates had it easy, but Big Brother was about to get evil.
Oh my God.
In 2004, everything changed. Into the house came the most outrageous set of characters to date. Big Brother had turned evil.
Evil Big Brother was a shop. I was looking for a Butlins holiday camp.
The living space reduced, and housemates had all to share one bedroom.
There was people there who were cracking. I'm talking about going bonkers.
The prize fund had been bumped up to £100,000, but money would decrease if housemates failed a task. The house divided into 2 camps, the lip gloss bitches versus the jungle cats. A fake eviction placed Michelle and Emma in the bedsit to spy on their fellow housemates.
Naked jacuzzi! Naked jacuzzi!
No naked jacuzzi next.
After 71 days in the house, Portuguese transsexual Nadia walked out the winner of Big Brother 5.
I went in there to win. It was a competition. I'm so competitive. It's going to burn me to my dying day that I did not win that.
There'd been a level playing field. If all characters had been who they said they were, then I would have probably won it. If Nadia was a chick, there's no way she'd have been out, you know, because chicks would have hated Nadia.
Nadia released a single and even entered the Big Brother house in Australia.
Jason, you have been eliminated.
Despite being nominated 13 times, former call centre worker Jason made it to the final.
Final night was like getting released. You were out. You never knew what to expect because you only could imagine how big the show was. I think if I'd have come out and I never would have got booed, I'd have probably enjoyed it a bit better.
In the house, Jason kept up his fitness regime. Now back in Glasgow, he's turned that passion into a career.
See, my life before it was, you know, 250 quid a week, working 40 hours a week in a call centre, 8 to 5, being a robot.
Fellow jungle cat Victor was evicted in week 9.
When you first come out of the house, it depends on how long you've been there, you're an A-lister, right? You can put your name up there with... You'll be on the front page of newspapers. You'll be mentioned the same breath as Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, maybe for a few weeks or whatever, do you know? And then you start sliding down on that list. I mean, I'm at Z-list. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, player, please. I'll be at the bar, all you haters. I'll be buying Chris.
He's now invested his big brother earnings into his future.
I'll be putting out my album, you know what I mean, in 2008, right? Fortune favours the bold. That's what I'm calling it. And I'm going to take my time recording it. I've got a few hot cuts already.
Emma Greenwood set her sights on Hollywood.
We're filming for a new film called Amnesia. I've only got 2 scenes. Yes, 2 scenes.
I'm really sorry, but there's someone here to see you.
I told you not to disturb me when I was outside.
I know, but he's demanding. He really wants to see you. I've never, ever had failure when it comes to my acting, my singing, or my dancing. So, and even to coming up on Big Brother, I got in Big Brother as well.
Action.
Hi, sir. Sorry. Would you like a drink or anything?
Shut in the rock.
Imagine winning an Oscar. Oh my God, I'd be the happiest girl in the world.
Emma's bedsit flatmate Michelle was the 7th housemate to be evicted.
What I wanted to get out of Big Brother was publicity, because it's not to do with the talent. You've got to go in there knowing that it's just publicity, and it could be positive or negative publicity, but you have to look at it as pure publicity, and then what you do with it after, well, that's up to you, kind of thing. There's a barrier, obviously, a huge barrier, a huge hurdle to jump over.
The former mortgage advisor went on to a career presenting the late-night adult channel.
Do you want to watch? You decide. Only Television X gives you Britain's best value adult package.
I'm presenting on Gay Pride this year, and I'm dressing up as Barbie. Yes, I think they'll approve of that.
AHMED AGHIL was the oldest housemate to go in the Big Brother house.
Once we live with brother, we are top in the sky like God. As far as I know, I'm the only one, you know, who has been created a religion after me. I'm more happy than before because people recognize me. People, you know, ask me an autograph. People are happy to see me. People are smiling. Still, after 3 years, people still recognize me. Now I have these shade glasses that okay, and sometimes even I cover myself with a hat. We are on top of the wall. We get down on the floor, and that's the saddest thing about it.
Now living in London, he's still working as a property developer. Mixing business and pleasure, though, is not a problem for AHMED.
Here, at night time, you change it. You know, daytime and the night time, then you have the... Oh, it's stuck the bed. Now, I'm angry. Okay, all right. My love life. I say, I'm an active man. I do things, but don't tell them. You understand? I just do it.
The rest of the housemates have had mixed fortunes. Dan Bryan is back hairdressing and DJing in Hull. Shell Dubin's in New York's Guggenheim Art Museum. Stuart split from Michelle last year and returned to Macclesfield to work with his father. Becky Zadiki works as a receptionist in East London. Vanessa Nimmo still has modelling work and also works as a PA. Kitten Pinder left these shores for a new life in Australia. Mark SABBA, a law student when he entered the house, has perhaps gone through the greatest transformation.
To get my life back, it's taken over 2 years. At the moment, I've just literally finished my degree. I qualified with a first-class honours degree in law. A new chapter to look forward to.
2005 heralded a new collection of housemates.
For me, I think my entrance and my experience is very different from the average housemate because I really wanted to make a big impact. I wanted it to be very kind of showy and over the top.
They're going to start booing him. They're going to start booing him.
I know some housemates did sort of do a little performance, pre-performance before they went in, which I just thought was absolutely pathetic.
MAKOSI was the first housemate to enter the diary room, and in doing so, found herself selected for the first of her 2 secret tasks.
Your secret mission is to get the most nominations from your housemates.
I enjoyed the tasks. I enjoyed mostly my secret missions. I mean, who wouldn't?
Do you think we should snog instead?
The 3rd week speed dating task put love on the agenda as housemates took the opportunity to get to know each other better.
Having female attention is definitely a good thing.
Your eyelashes, are they real?
Yes, they are.
They look false.
They are real.
Close your eyes.
Only had Maxwell to compete with, so so it wasn't too bad.
Right, here we go.
Well, with me and Maxwell, we did a task, and he put all like jelly sweets on his body and on his lips and on your. I thought, here we go.
At the time, obviously, I'm not being funny, I'm a catch, so she wanted to pin me down.
If I'm honest, when I first met him, I didn't fancy him. Thought he was a bit loud, a bit cocky.
I've waited all my life to do that, I'm telling you.
Maxwell and Sasuke, they all wannabes, innit? Like, they thought they were going to be in the next wannabe couple, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it never worked out that way.
Big Brother gave us 3 new potential housemates via the secret garden.
Welcome to the Big Brother house.
Anthony and MAKOSI made full use of the heated outdoor pool.
I think it's called the MAKOSI pool night.
She did have sex with Anthony because I know what he's like, and I could tell that they did have sex.
We didn't have sex. What she said, but I couldn't believe the lass said that, and then she said she was pregnant, which was even more crazy.
I refuse to talk about the presidency. Totally refuse. Never will. Never wanted to.
By week 9, Craig and Anthony's relationship had blossomed.
What made them what they were was the whole Craig giving it all, Anthony taking it all, but not wanting to accept that he's enjoying it all.
I kind of knew that Craig kind of fancied us, but I was dismissing it as well.
Craig, give him a chance.
I can't leave him. I can't leave him.
Craig, I want to talk to my brother by myself.
I just tried to play it cool, and I tried to accept that I didn't have a problem with that the lad was gay, and I didn't have a problem with being his friend, but that was it. It was never going to go any further.
I personally think he was the one who had issues with his sexuality, and I felt like he was the one chasing me, and I think they could easily have put a different story on it.
I love you more than... Do you know I love you so much?
Ola's early departure gave call centre worker Kinga her chance to enter the main Big Brother house.
When I was told I was going back the second time, it just completely changed my life around. Yes, they were calling me fat. Yes, they were calling me a minger. But the thing is, the fact was, I was loved because I was funny.
In a last twist, in the final week, Big Brother made Eugene an offer he couldn't refuse.
Currently, the prize fund for the winner stands at £100,000. Yes. In front of you is half of that prize fund. £50,000 cash.
Yes.
Yeah. Eugene,
Oh, look at him. He's in a
if
dilemma.
you want the £50,000 cash, you can have it. It's yours. But the winner's prize fund will then stand at just £50,000. You have up to 1 minute to make your decision.
I think if anyone gives you the opportunity of taking 50 grand, you can't turn it down. It's the bias or the balance of whether is 50 grand going to be worth people disliking you. Turns out that they all seem to have decided it's the best thing to do.
I'm going to take the £50,000 and leave.
Anthony walked out winner of Big Brother 6, collecting the other half of the prize fund with 57% of the vote. Following his victory, the one-time dancer from Newcastle soon realised life would never be the same again.
I remember coming back to Newcastle, and to be honest, I was very naive to the fact that I'd been on a really popular TV show. People were saying to us, are you going to go out with security or anything like that? And I was like, no, I'm going out with the lads. It was crazy. People were coming up to us screaming.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
See you later.
2 years later, Anthony is still riding the crest of his big brother's success.
I still do a lot of personal appearances at nightclubs. I still do me dance show that I used to love doing before Big Brother. I've just finished doing a Wizard of Oz show last week. I was a postman a few years ago. Fingers crossed that I don't have to ever go back to being a postman, because I was rubbish at that job.
Craig now shuns the limelight since he left the house.
I did the whole, you know, living in London thing that I think everyone pretty much does for the whole 6-month period, and then realised, you know, it isn't that sort of long-term as such. It is quite hard work.
Now living back in Norfolk, he has a hairdressing salon and a new passion.
Well, I'd like to eventually open a rescue centre. It's what I'm sort of leading towards doing. It's what I've actually always wanted to do for quite a long time. But obviously to do that, it's very expensive. You need lots of volunteers. You need a sort of an initial place to start out. So that's what I'm actually saving for at the moment.
Big Brother 6 other couple, Maxwell and Saskia, were very much in demand after leaving the house.
Come out and it was literally like, you've got this paper wants to do an interview, or this magazine wants to do an interview, you two, it's you two, you two this, you two that, PAs together. We did do obviously separate bits and pieces together and all, but a lot of the time we were working together. Got on, and we thought, well, next step, it always a bit 100 miles an hour, to be honest with you. And we bought this gaff.
Maxwell is currently moving out.
We broke up, I think, probably about 6 months ago now, but we've still been living together, which is a bit of a nightmare.
After 6 months on the sofa, Maxwell's now moving back to live with his mum.
Looking back, I do look at, you know, think of me and Maxwell and think, you know, how did we get together? Because we are so different. But I think it was the laughter that brought us together. Life's an experience, and it was an experience for Maxwell.
Small board that came back as scoreboard. I think I looked at mum there.
KEMAL has now launched a successful online jewellery company from his home in London.
It's like Europe's biggest online accessory store, you know. There's no other online accessory store like ours.
But KEMAL has got bigger plans afoot.
I want to look like a woman and have the appearance of a woman, but my thing is to be, as per se, kind of like a chick with a dick, basically. Men I date, that's what they're into, that's what they like, and that's what I like. So if I like that, and I'm happy and I'm leading a normal social life, why can you not get to grips with that? I want to have a nose job, and maybe just a bit of facial feminization work, because I wouldn't say I'm 100% happy with the way I look. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to look a lot more like Angelina Jolie, but at the moment, for now, it's kind of, you know, I'm never gonna get to being like that, and you can only just be as comfortable as you can really be. You make the best of what you've got, and I make the best of what I've got. I'm sick of being seen as some kind of just biological and mental freak of nature.
Eugene, who is currently training for his pilot's licence, has gone back to his old job as a radio engineer in Scotland. Derek Lord now writes for national newspapers on gardening.
As soon as I came out of the house, I got my Heat magazine deal of losing the weight, lots of PAs. I was working on my music, and I'm still working to this day, and I'm really fortunate.
Done photo shoots, bikini shots, topless shots. Oh my gosh, I know. I've done the movie, which is like a really great achievement for me, Cash and Curry. Pussy.
Roberto Conti is training to be a chiropractor.
I'm studying for my law degree. I'm just about to do my exams next month. I'm also a gothic columnist for YV magazine.
Paula McAllister has a modelling career and has just had a baby.
I'm just going to milk Big Brother for everything I can. You know, I've been really fortunate to go in the house. I've had this massive opportunity. 2 years on, still working. I'd love to be working in 2 years' time, but even if it only lasts another 2 weeks, 2 months.
Working on my music and stuff, my album, like, I'm just trying to get that finished, basically, refined to the right level, get it mixed and mastered and get it done properly.
I'm making a living temping, which I really enjoy. Normal work and being with people every day rather than sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. It's very disheartening.
Big Brother was about to embark on the biggest series ever.
We count one.
Big Brother 7 lasted 93 days and featured a grand total of 22 housemates, with 14 entering on day 1. And a further 8 over the course of the series.
Who is she? Who is she?
Love was in the air from the start, but it was Pete who became the ladies' favourite.
I let you into my bed. I even let you carry on with another woman blatantly in front of me. The thing about Pete, I think he was just funny. He was genuinely funny. He was caring, gentle type, and you could like literally feel yourself in his company.
Many strong friendships were formed. Richard and Leah, 2 of the oldest housemates, are still together today.
You get people say, "Oh, it's false friendship when you're in the house." It's like, no, it's not. It's...
You have a strong
we
bond.
can't get rid of each other.
No.
If we don't see each other every day, we can't get rid of me.
Nikki Graham was evicted on day 58. But was put back in by the public shortly after. Best friends Spiral and Michael were kicked out the house in a double eviction.
Experience, I'd say, has opened my mind up to other people from different backgrounds and stuff like that, you know? Because, a prime example, Michael, like, I don't have many gay friends, but I got evicted with Michael as my best friend, and he was gay, you know? So, like, there's nothing against gays, but I mean, it just opens your mind up to. It's just an unbelievable experience that all the time you're on the TV, you're getting to meet Davina, people are cheering you. It's like everything around you is just great. Nothing can go wrong, you know.
Come the final night, Pete proved to be the people's favourite, winning 61% of the public's vote.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Pete!
Since leaving, the former cloakroom attendant has written an autobiography, released a single, and is to appear at the Glastonbury Festival with his band. Grace has her own newspaper column and is engaged to marry Mikey, who now works as a music producer. Nikki Graham went on to have her own TV show.
And welcome back to the Dickie and Dolly show. Dolly, how are you doing?
I'm cool, Dickie. How are you?
Good. Listen,
Leah and Richard turned their on-screen friendship into a winning formula.
We have
a radio show.
We have a radio show
called the Dickie and Dolly show.
On Gaydar.
On Gaydar Radio, which is a fantastic station. If you like house music, if you just want to dance around and listen to us speak absolute gibberish, then
Come
tune
listen
in.
to us.
Ashleen now presents a radio show, writes a regular magazine column, and has a successful modelling career. Glyn has put his studies on hold and recently recorded a TV documentary in Wales with Imogen, who's working as a model. Susie runs an online clothing company.
Party begins, my record spins, left turntable, bass spins.
Dublin-born DJ Spiral is now back in his hometown, fulfilling his long-time dream.
I've finished off writing my album. I had the album slightly wrote before I went in, so I finished it off, booked into the studio. I've been in the studio for a couple of months now, working on my album, and yeah, so we hope for a summer release with the album. You know, that's what we're aiming for.
Party begins, my record spins, left turntable, bass spins, right turntable, mix it in, crowd goes crazy, fit women.
When I came back to Ireland, the reception was crazy. Everyone was so supportive, you know, out in the bars in the city centre and stuff like that. Everyone coming up saying, I like the way you did this, I like the way you did that and stuff. So honestly, like, it's been, I'd say 95% for me positive.
But not all the housemates have chosen a career in the media.
My life at the moment is in between normality, still a bit crazy and wild, but at the moment I'm going to be a plumber. I'm going to be apprentice plumbing. It's more constructive and it's more hands-on, and that's how I am. And I reckon the work atmosphere where there's loads of boys, which is a bonus, because I'm still single. I think I'm being more realistic about the future, really, because like I say, Big Brother, I mean, like, it's a little bit of fame, it only lasts a little bit for so long, you know what I mean? So, what I'm doing now is, like, it'd be a good career to get into, good trade, and, like, I don't know, I suppose it's better than being in the back of Heat magazine, coming out of Boots or something, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Life on Big Brother takes housemates through many different experiences, but after they leave Britain's most famous house, their lives are rarely the same again.
It was the best time of my life because it's changed my son's and my mum's life for the better now.
I would describe my time in the house as a big pile of shit. I didn't get the £100,000 and I'm bitter and I'm twisted.
You can't
And Pete didn't even buy me a drink.
I'm proud to say I was one of the select few that's been there and done it.
My time in the Big Brother house is possibly one of the best things I've ever done. Not just for the time, but everything that's happened after it.
I've had a laugh, met some brilliant friends, got a car out of it. I've just loved it. It's been great.
You know, Big Brother has given me the stepping stone which I've always kind of wanted.
The fun thing about life now is you don't get to plan it. Somebody does it for you.
Unless you have been on the telly, you don't exist.
If I could do it all again, would I? Without a doubt.
And Big Brother begins this time round at 9:30 on Wednesday night.